Well, welcome back to Can This Be Real? My name is Olin Christopher Bell, aka Chris James, of the group The Natural Four. It's been a minute since I was here, but I wanted to welcome you back and hope that you've enjoyed the last several episodes of Can This Be Real? The story of the Natural Four, or the history, I should say, of the Natural Four. If in fact you like what you hear, please do me the favor and the honor of subscribing to my channel, leaving me messages and tell me what you think of my show. For those that don't know my email address, it's arvanola, which is ARVANOLA at gmail.com. Leave me your comments and tell me what you think. I've been also posting pictures, which I have thousands of pictures from the places that I've been around the world, and I've posted them on there. If you like those, please make comments on them. I'm running into people that I haven't heard from or seen or spoke to in many, many years. And some of them I only knew when they were children because I used to teach them. But in the meantime, this week's program, I'm going to feature a friend of mine. His name is Mr. Anthony Cook. He's originally from England and then moved to Canada. And I'm going to let him tell you how we became friends and how he's been musically in my life for over the last 20, almost 30 years. Him and I have been working together. So sit back, relax, enjoy this particular episode of Can This Be Real? I'll be back shortly with Mr. Anthony Cook, and I hope you enjoy the show. Also, don't forget, Music Saved My Life. That's my book. I would like for you to please subscribe, get it, read it, tell me what you think. I'm thinking I'm in the process of doing another book. So please sit back, relax. Oh, I'm gonna be playing some more Natural Form material, but only small snippets of it this time. And if you want to actually hear the entire songs, you can go to my YouTube channel and download them. They're there. Most of my stuff is on the internet, but these are the ones that I'm playing are ones that are some of my favorites. Anyway, sit back, relax, get ready for the story by Mr. Tony. I call him Tony Cook, but his name is Anthony Cook. Anyway, I'll see you on the other side. Well, without any further ado, I'd like to welcome my friend, Mr. Anthony Cook, to the show. Welcome, Mr. Cook. Let's talk about you
Hmm.
and your career.
Yeah,
Um, First and foremost, how long have you been playing music, Tony?
I have been playing music pretty much all my. Some of my earliest remembrances are actually stringing up boxes, um, hitting things because I was always fascinated with sound and stuff like that. And when I was a kid, for a while, I lived with my grandma and my aunt, and my aunt was a very accomplished pianist,
You
and I
told
would. Yeah, I would sit beside her, and she would play Chopin and all of this Brahms and all of this beautiful classical music. And then in the evening, she would head down to the local pub and play all local pop stuff. But I didn't actually start playing guitar until I was, I'd say, about 15. And one of my sister's boyfriends left his guitar at the house,
mm-hmm.
and I picked it up and I started plunking away, and that was the beginning of it. And I initially tuned the thing to a chord,
Mm-hmm.
like to an E major chord, and I could play all the major chord, E, F, G, and all that stuff, but I couldn't play any minors or anything like that. So I had to relearn the guitar the correct way, you
Uh-huh.
know, which I did. Started playing in bands at a very, in high school studies, and then after I left high school, I started doing. I went on the road, basically lived on the road, playing 6 days a week. One day was travel. Sundays were travel day, and um, culminating. I went to a musical college in Canada by the name of Music Industry Arts, and they were dedicated to pretty much the music industry. But there was the one thing that I really loved about the program itself was everybody would be writing particular styles of music and all different styles, and you get a chance to collaborate with other musicians.
Right.
Uh, that culminated in a kind of a progressive rock thing that I did, it was released in 1979 on the Warner Brothers Atlantic Elektra label, and that was called True Myth, and it was one of the first digital recordings ever done, and that's the album. It was recorded digitally, but um, actually recorded on what they call virgin vinyl. That's me on the in the white suit. I don't know if you
Right.
can
I
see
see.
that.
Yes, I see that.
Anyway, so this is the album itself. As I say, recorded on virgin vinyl. I still have that. Did another one after that, which was um, just a regular analog album, and then I decided to move to California in '81. And when I moved to California, I was not really in a good place, and I stayed with my folks who were in Sunnyvale at the time, and until I got myself on my feet, I left my guitars and everything back in Canada, you know. And when I arrived
Back in Canada.
back in Canada, that's where I came from.
Okay.
Originally born in England, but I was living in Canada at the time.
Right.
Anyway, I stopped playing music for 10 years. I put it on the back burner, got married, yada, 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 kids and, raising kids and divorce and everything. And that's pretty much where I was at when we met. And we both work for the same company, Metro
Metro call.
Metro Call Paging, excuse me, in Foster City, California. And which was like really a bad time to be selling pagers, because cell phones were starting to come out and everything else. And I was outside sales, and I would come in once a week, bring in my kit and all of my 4 contracts that I'd signed for the week. and I came in one day, and they'd hired a new office manager, and it turned out to be this black guy. And I was surprised because the owner of the company was like this German, almost like a Nazi type, he probably wasn't. He just, he didn't give me the impression that he would hire a black guy, And but you were sitting at your desk. I was kind of wandering around, and you had a music system on your desk. I was going to call it a boombox, but I don't think it was.
Do not ethnicize things,
and I recognized the style of music you were playing on your thing, and it was like 70s, maybe 60s or 70s, early R&B,
R&B or R&B?
Airbnb.
No, R&B.
R&B, but I didn't recognize the artist. And I said to you, that's really good. Who is that? And you said to me, that's me. At which point I kind of blurted out, well, I play guitar, and you kind of gave me this look like, kind of one raised eyebrow and saying, well, next time you come in, bring your axe, which I did. And I think that was the beginning of us getting fired from the company.
Sure it was.
But we started to talk to one another, and I remember we met one time, you, me, and Zakiya, and I don't know exactly. It would have been early in 1990, and we just kind of had a meeting between the three of us, and there was obviously some musical chemistry there,
Do you remember the year?
The one, I'm sorry?
The year that we met,
1990.
1990.
Yeah, it was 1990. Um, you, at that point, invited me into the Bay Area. The only um, interaction that I'd ever had prior to that with an African American male was in Toronto, Canada, where I was living and playing music and stuff like that. And I remember walking down Yonge Street, which is like the main boulevard, and this brother was walking towards me, and he looks at me, he goes, "Hey, what's happening?" And I was like, "Happening where?" You know? And so when you invited me to Oakland for the first time, and it was really an eye-opening experience for me in many ways, and you actually invited me into your world, and I met a lot of other musicians, a lot of other players, and just to after 9 years of not playing, it was such a refreshing thing to be around musicians again and to be accepted. Yeah, I was probably the only white dude in the band, at that point. Um, but very much accepted and welcomed. And it changed my perspective on a lot of things, and certainly I'd never been exposed to R&B, R&B. Get my Hispanic coming on here a little bit, but um, and all blues for that matter. I mean, and so when we first decided to put a musical thing together, and I think it was you, me, Zakiya, Bobby Young, um, and I forget who. Oh, actually, Billy Johnson, if you remember. And I think John, he was originally had been playing with John and John Lee,
Right.
and
Johnny.
he he had been in a coma. From what I remember, he'd been in a coma for several months, and John wanted to keep him in the fold per se, and asked us if he could play with us so he could get himself back on his feet again. And so we had three guitar players in the band. I think you played bass, and I forget who our original drummer was. It might have been Latrosse Harris. Uh,
I think it was Latrosse.
yeah, and then after that, Marlon Green, one of my favorite drummers. And we started putting every Tuesday night we get together and we start putting stuff together. And I think we put Z's first album together, Another Generation of the Blues. I'm not sure whether it was 93 or exactly what year it was, but I remember we got nominated for a BAMI, which was for me a big deal, and we would go out with the three guitar players and everything and do our thing. And I remember one evening you took me to see Carl Lockett, and I forget what club we were at, but and
It was
Carl.
called, it was called the Fifth Amendment.
Okay, yes, it was the Fifth Amendment, and Carl was playing guitar synthesizer, and he was doing Jimmy Smith and stuff like that, and I was like blown away. It was like, wow, that is so cool. And I remember deciding I got a Roland guitar synth, 1994 or whatever the heck it was, and started working with that and realized that I could use it to do string arrangements and do like horn patches and pads and stuff like that, and actually be able to play over it at the same time. And so that really opened up a whole thing for me, and I still have the synth. It's my synth today.
Let me ask you this, Tony. Because if we sit there, you could go on for the next hour.
And I probably would.
I don't mean to cut you off, but Tell me some of the some of the things that has helped you over the years playing with myself and some of the players. What type of experience has that been for you?
Well, it was a huge learning experience for me in a lot of ways, and I'm not a what they would call a studied musician. You know, I've had, obviously I know chords and stuff, you know, there's some scales and stuff like that, but music is such a mathematical thing. It's also very emotional thing, and certain musical passages and scales can evoke certain emotions in you. And what I learned working with you and working with some of the players from the Bay Area was a whole different style of music than what I've been playing in the past. You know, I'd done show bands and stuff like that, but what you guys were doing was quite different. You know, that the pockets were different. You know, a lot of the chord structures and that kind of thing were very different. And then we started actually working on Zakiya's original material. There was some things that we wrote collectively. There was some songs by, you know, other songwriters. You know, Doug Duffy comes to mind. You know, and so we styled those um, for Zakiya to sing, and you know, keeping in mind that at that point she'd never performed before. You know, and so it was a brand new experience all the way around. You
But
know,
let me ask you another question.
yeah, yeah.
What do you think about the Natural Four as a group? What do you think about the Natural Four? Not that you got a chance to really see the original Natural Four,
Right, right.
but the concept of the Natural Four. What do you think of the Natural Four material and the songs that they sang?
Well, that's going back to when we first met, and you were playing some Natural Four at your desk in Foster City when we met at the office, and that's why it really caught my ear. It was like, oh, this is really good, but it was not a group that I'd heard before,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was definitely a learning experience for me, and definitely I thought the group was extremely good, extremely well rehearsed. All of the moves, dance moves, and the harmonies, and everything was very professional and very you know, very well executed and well put together. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um,
You've played several of the songs that the Natural Four have recorded. I'm going to play some of these songs a little later in the show. Um, One of the songs that you worked on, and I'd like to get your take on it, is "Baby Come On." What do you think of "Baby Come On"?
great song. It was always a song that I enjoyed actually opening the show with. You know, because it just had that. It had it. You know, whatever it is, it had it. You know, and all the way down to the ending, which was a very climactic ending. You know, so
Mhm.
and yeah, quarterly and you know, F sharp minor, G sharp minor seventh. You know, and not a um, not a key that I was used to working in.
Mhm.
You know, but over the years I learned several of the Natural Four songs because we used to perform them with different incarnations of the band. You know,
What do
we
you
had
What do
a
you
couple
think?
of.
Can this be real?
Can this be real? Really good song, which was of course a hit for you guys, right?
Yes, it was.
You know, uh, on a personal note, I kind of preferred. What was the flip side of that? It was,
Love that really counts.
you know, for me, it just flowed a little better. Um, but still great songs. Really good stuff, and so it's been a journey.
You had also had an opportunity to go on one of my, uh, I guess I'll call it my productions to Thailand.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think about the trip to Thailand?
The trip to Thailand was well. There was more than one trip to Thailand.
Right.
The first time we went, and it was the Dusatani or the
To the
hotel.
Sunny Hotel in downtown Bangkok.
Yeah, that was quite an experience. And I seem to recall that we wound up going there. And this is the one thing about you. You're very uh, adventuresome in a lot of ways, and you it's like, okay, well, let's go there because I think was it Speedy?
Speaking a friend, actually a friend of Zakiya's first, and we'll get into that later. Okay. Yeah, Speedy.
And I think he had mentioned that they were playing some of your music and some of our Zakiya's music over there, and it was like, let's go. Wasn't even a second thought. It was like, let's go, let's make it happen. And I remember uh, arriving in Bangkok and everything, and we were well, actually the streets were like crowded with people, and about every 2 or 3 feet it seemed like there were people cooking and all kinds of um, uh, aromatic things going on that were just. And I remember we were literally holding hands because of the crush of people. So
Yes.
we didn't get separated. So yeah, it was quite a different experience. And I remember we also stopped over in South Korea, and it was like a layover. You had like 12 hours, so you could stay in a hotel room and sleep for a while if you wanted to, or which we wound up doing was taking the train up to the DMZ, the demilitarized zone, and that was quite an experience. Getting on the
You should. Was that a train or was that a taxi?
well, we took the train till
I
the
think
end of
a
the.
taxi.
Then we took the taxi, and the taxi was like one of the scariest rides I'd ever had in my life. Man, this guy was was crazy. But I remember being on the train and all these people, they're wearing T-shirts with all kinds of English expressions. When I say English, North American expressions.
Mhm.
And they had no idea
What they were saying.
what some of the stuff. And I see people sometimes with Japanese tattoos and stuff like that, and there's probably the same thing. You
Hmm.
know, it's like you have no idea what you're wearing on your body.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, really, really quite an experience. Just to be in a different culture like that, a whole different way uh, of looking at life. And I remember there was a fella, and I forget his name, but he lived up in the hills, and he brought a, a few. They were, definitely like a different tribe of people, and I don't think they'd ever seen a white person before. Because they were all in close proximity to one another, and I remember them staring at me like I was from another planet. And which was very, very different. Very
That's,
different.
that's what normally happens with That's normally what happens with brothers when we go to certain Scandinavian countries.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I mean, yeah. Well, it's funny because in England where I grew up, and there's a lot of Jamaicans and people from North Africa and everything else. And there's a whole different um, cultural thing going on. with people from, African Americans, there's a whole different thing because a lot of people were brought to North America, separated from people that spoke the same language as
Right.
them deliberately, and so there's this lack of identity as being from a specific place. And I don't mean this to sound, well, it is bad, you know. It's just a terrible thing to have to go through as a people. But anyway, I'm going to get into stuff that's going to
Well,
get me.
let me ask you this. Have you heard the song "Count on Me" by the Natural Four?
No, I don't think I have.
I'm gonna play that song right now,
Okay.
and only gonna play a short snippet of it.
Uh-huh.
I need you to tell me what you think of the song.
When was it recorded? Do you recall?
1973.
Okay. Okay.
So sit back for a second. So what do you think of the song, Tony?
Really good, man. Really good. And not one that I'd heard before.
Okay. Well, that makes a difference. And I'm, like I tell everyone else, you can get the whole song if you go to my YouTube channel, and you can download the song.
Right.
I'm gonna play another one. And I'm sure you've heard this one. It's called "How Have You Been?"
I have heard it.
I'm gonna play a little bit of that, just a hair, and I want you to tell me what you think of it.
Swell. What's to it? You look so good, and it's been such a long time. You think we might renew real old acquaintance? Since the last time I saw you, have I ever crossed your mind, girl? How have you been? You're looking swell.
So what'd you think?
Do you recall who wrote that?
I think Laurel Simon wrote this one, not
Okay.
Lisa. I think.
Yeah.
I could have lost my mind.
Look it up and all of that. It is, again, good. And that's the one thing that I really liked about the Natural Four was the writing was really good. The arrangements were excellent. The vocal harmonies, everything was right on the money. And especially the writing. I really enjoyed the writing.
Right on.
Well written stuff.
Now here's another one. Well, here's the one we talked about a little earlier. I'm going to play just a snippet of this one. Actually, don't even have to because because you actually helped record it over again. I mean, not record it over again, but we've done versions of it. And that's Baby Come On.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna play that one. It's only a short snippet of it. I'm gonna play a short snippet of it. You know, give me one more opinion of this particular song.
Baby, this love I feel, I wonder if it's real. Deep down within my soul, my love is worth its weight in gold. So if you want it, baby, come on, come on. And if you need it, baby, come on, come on. I wanna do it with you, come on, and make you feel so good. I must make you realize that I'm only one lonely guy, but I can give you everything.
So what'd you think of that?
I
Of
love,
course.
always love that song. You know, as I was saying earlier, I mean, it's a great opening song. And in fact, I remember we did a live version of a Natural Force show, and which was actually not live at all, because we had overdubbed applause, and I think we were getting ready to do open up for, might have been the Isley Brothers or
It's a possibility.
somebody like that. And I remember it was almost like as a rehearsal thing. We put together the recordings, strung them, you know, in a medley. The whole thing was basically was a medley from beginning to end. And I played it for a bunch of people who were convinced that it was live, you know, because it was.
Oh, we did a good job.
Yeah, I think so too. You know?
Well, I'm gonna do another one. I don't think you've heard it. It's called "What Do You Do."
No, I haven't.
I'm gonna do just a snippet of "What Do You Do." I want you to tell me what you think of what you hear. You're not hearing the entire song on any of these, even though a couple of them you know. But anyway, right now I'm gonna play a little bit of "What Do You Do," and you tell me what you think.
Late in 65, I kiss my love goodbye. So familiar to my mind. Everything I left behind, I'd walked a mile for your fascinating love making. But you just keep on taking me for a ride. Falling right in line, my body can't deny. I gotta follow the dotted line, guaranteed to satisfy. I was ruled by love, ruled by love. I got a question, needs the answer. Are you the band, am I the dancer?
So, what do you think of that one?
Again, cool. You know, not one that I'd heard. You know, so there's obviously there's a wealth of music, and also a, you know, when you guys got together, when, like in the 1960s.
Well, the original group, as I've said in my earlier podcast, the original group started in 1967, late 67, 68.
Okay.
And then there was a lot of transitions. Well, not a lot of transitions, several different transitions over the 9.5 years that we were together.
Okay.
I'm going to play one more that you say that you like better than Can This Be Real, just a snippet of it. And one more time, give me your opinion on it after we play it. All right, here's the song. It's only, again, all these are just snippets. Tell me what you think after it's finished. Okay?
Now you're going to play the original version, right?
Yes, I'm afraid. I'm not going to play the one we made.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
So tell me what you think.
That is love that really counts. Everything else can run out. You find a love that's true. And if you find a love that's true, better try your best to keep her with you. So many people confuse these days, trying hard to find satisfaction, spending all kinds of cash, talking all kinds of trash, just to be that main attraction. Girl, but I had to stop and ask myself just what this life's all about. I know money is cool, but I can't be no fool.
So what do you think, as usual?
But
I
you
know
know,
it's your favorite song.
it's there's been several songs like that. You know, that the A side was one thing, and the B side almost seemed like a different idea of the same song. You know, but I like can this be not can this be real, but love the, you know, for me on a personal level. You know, I just think it's a beautiful message. Everything else will run out.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything else can run out, but it's really lovely, really counts. And you're right. And of course, that was a Leroy Hudson
Okay.
penned song. Also, we did a show in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of regress, and you helped to coordinate the whole show with the Isley Brothers. As a matter of fact, we opened for the Isley Brothers.
Yeah.
And we did, the Natural 4 recorded a song called Why Should We Stop Now?
Right.
And we did a remake of that song. I'm going to play a short portion of the video that we got from there. And I want you to tell me give me your overall opinion of that video and that whole particular show when it's over, okay? I'm not going to play a lot of it, just a short clip of it.
Right.
And if the audience afterwards wants to go and see it, all I have to do is go to my channel and they can see the whole thing. I'm only going to do a snippet of it.
Now, when you say this was a video of the show that we did in LA.
In LA, yes.
Oh yeah, because I haven't seen that.
A live version of the show was, you know.
Oh wow. Okay.
With that extension of the Natural 4, which was myself, Jeffrey Bashir, Kamal, and Gil Baskerville.
Okay.
This was another extension of Natural 4. Okay. And after I play it, I want you to kind of give your take on that whole show and what you felt. So we're going to do that right now, and then right after it's finished, come back and you tell me what you think of that whole performance, okay?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Be right back after this short video.
We're going to move right on through this. This is our last song. We want to thank you very much for coming out. We want to thank all of you back there. Thank you. God bless you. This is our last song from us to you. Why should we stop now? We're not. We're going to keep on moving.
So Tell me, what do you think? What do
I,
you think of that whole show?
I think the one thing I actually the show itself was really good and really I forget the exact venue that we played in, but it was a large
It
a
was,
large venue,
a
you know.
theater, a large theater.
Yeah, exactly. And I think one of probably the most impressive thing to me that stood out was there were a whole bunch of Hispanic people in the audience, and they were like younger people, and they knew all the words, which
Yeah.
was absolutely
That blew me away.
yeah, that absolutely blew my mind, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Um, I can't recall what year it was. Again, back in the '90s, I'm sure.
Hmm.
You know, but so much music, man, music. You know, so blessed to
Oh,
have music in our lives, man. I mean, it's just amazing. It truly is. You know.
well, Tony, I'm going to kind of wrap this up. Um, is there anything you want to tell the my audience out there? Anything specific you want to tell them?
I've always enjoyed about you, you know, is you have a very spontaneous way of doing things, and you also have a way which you're almost like psychic or something, in a sense. And I'll give you an example. We were playing in Paris on the Ile de la Jette in the middle of the Seine River. And I remember at one point during the show, and you picked out a guy in the audience. Turns out his name is Adrian Lucio from Argentina, and you picked up on the fact that he's a guitar player. And maybe he was, I don't know if he was doing whatever, but you picked up on that. And that started a whole series of trips that we made to Argentina and shows that we did in Argentina,
Change,
so
change your life
absolutely. Oh, no kidding.
totally.
No, you know,
That much I do know.
yeah, so yeah, definitely, again, music, man, music. And as you pointed out in your book, music saved your life, and I know it saved mine on there we go, on numerous occasions.
Well, Tony, I want to thank you for taking the time.
You're like 15 years old in that.
Huh?
You're like 15 years old in that picture on the book.
About 17.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's going back.
And hopefully me and you'll get together again and do another one of these. Talk about some more stuff as I progress.
That would be wonderful, man. And the beauty of it is that we're actually still working on music.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It,
Music never stops.
yeah.
Only the players when they leave here. It's the only thing that stops about music, because music is forever.
Yeah, it is.
I want to thank you, Mr. Cook, my brother, and maybe in another several weeks we'll do this again.
That would be great, man, because I've been fortunate and really blessed to have a 30-year friendship, centered around music and musical ideas and musical travels together, and so yeah, it's been
pretty amazing. It's been pretty amazing. We've done quite a bit. We've traveled quite a bit. We've had quite a bit of experiences. some good, some not so good, some drunken.
I was thinking about falling down the stairs in there. It was an accident, totally an accident, but
we've seen some beautiful places. We met some really wonderful people.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I thank God for the fact that meeting Adrian Lucio and going to Argentina changed my life completely.
Right. Well, and opening on shows for people like Jerry Lee Lewis and Ike Turner and the Wailers, and you
Yeah,
know just a great experience, man.
it's been a journey that has been truly musically um, fulfilling,
Yeah, yeah,
to say the least.
yeah.
Um, it doesn't happen often, but it's been a journey that, for me, it has changed my life completely. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Oh,
Anyway, I want to thank you for joining us this evening,
thank you,
and
my brother.
uh, I will be talking to you again. You take care of yourself, and I'll see you on the other side.
Got it, man. On the
All right,
33rd.
on the 33rd. Peace, brother.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for tuning in to the show. I hope that you liked it. I hope you liked Anthony Cook. He's quite a great guitar player, as well as a good musical director. He has a lot of dedication to the music, plus the fact he's my friend. I hope that you've enjoyed yourself, or at least enjoyed the show. And I'll see you again the next time. And don't forget, pick up my book, Music Saved My Life, From Darkness into the Light. My life as a soul singer from the 1970s. Long time ago. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show. Please leave your comments down below and subscribe to my channel. God bless you. God keep you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope to see you very soon. Take care. Be blessed.